I therefore suggest that debate continues.
My Lords, I've added my name to Baroness Cash's 438C on the recording of ethnicity in police data. One chance to move. I don't profess to have the noble lady's expertise in this area in terms of her work at the Equalities and Human Rights Commission or as a distinguished lawyer, but I think her aspiration to have clear, consistent and transparent data is important, and it is increasingly important for politics and with the public, which is why I wanted to speak. Following on from the Casey review, the Home Secretary then, Yvette Cooper, announced that collecting ethnicity and nationality data in cases of child sexual abuse and exploitation cases would become a mandatory requirement. This recommendation to collect targeted information was made after the review had found that there was a paucity of data nationally concerning the ethnicity of perpetrators of the rape, who were part of the rape grooming gangs. The noble lady, Lady Baroness Casey, had found that, as we've already heard, that only 3 local policing areas, Greater Manchester, West and South Yorkshire, had such data. And the noble lady Baroness Casey concluded that whilst this was sufficient evidence to show that there were disproportionate numbers of men from Asian, specifically Pakistani heritage, amongst the suspects, as well as those convicted, that conclusion had been avoided for too long, and she criticised official obfuscation that misled the public. Yvette Cooper concluded, while much more robust data is needed, we cannot and must not shy away from these findings. I think that sums up a very positive development, which is that recognition that we need to collect more data on ethnicity if we're not going to get ourselves into either a political scandal, which is what the grooming gangs question was, but also a way that had been really obscuring both for local residents, for members of the public, and of course for the victims who felt very frustrated that these things were not allowed to come out. So I think with much more acceptance of the positive role of acknowledging ethnicity and data in the wind, I think we should look at expanding that. This much more open approach now needs to be, I think, to crime statistics more generally. And in fact, in this new atmosphere, the issue has also affected policing. In the wake of the Southport murders of those 3 little girls, the police slowness in releasing the details of the suspected perpetrator, Axel Rudder-Cabana, when he was arrested, was something which caused, as we know, immense political tensions. The almost willfully misleading description of the suspect as a 17-year-old from Lancashire who was originally from Cardiff led to and itself a sort of pseudo form of misinformation, created an information vacuum that led to false rumours and actual misinformation started online that the killer was a Muslim asylum seeker, completely incorrect. And so therefore, accurate data, accurate descriptions actually play a valuable role. And that led to the Met Police Chief, Sir Mark Rowley, declaring that it was right to release the ethnicity of suspects, pointing out the importance of being, quote, more transparent in terms of the data that the police release. I think what this amendment is trying to do is to make sure that the data that's collected is also accurate and not just a debate about being released. And, you know, the incidents around Southport led to guidance being developed by the National Police Chiefs Council and the College of Policing in recognition of public concerns to ensure that police processes are fit for purpose in an age of rapid information spread. But I don't think that this response should just be about combating misinformation, and that shouldn't be just the main driver. I do think that in order for us to have accurate, the importance of having accurate information The main driver should be that the public have a right to know and understand offender and victim profiles accurately, and the police, very specifically, need to understand the data to aid in the prevention and detection of crimes. It's arguable if decisions to release information should be left up to police forces. That's not what we're concerned with here. But certainly data collection needs to be mandated, and a failure to act on this can lead to tensions. Just one thing I did want to counter. In some of this debate, campaigners have tried to suggest that such data collection may overly encourage focusing on racial backgrounds and fuel, quote, right-wing conspiracy theories or, quote, pander to racism. I don't think that's fair. Not a week goes by without people asking questions from the public about incidents that have happened, and it's because they're concerned for the safety of their communities. And sometimes that involves ethnicity. But I think that the noble lady Baroness Cash made it clear that this is much broader than the issues that I've raised. This is also about the ethnicity of victims. It's also about ensuring that people from different ethnic backgrounds are not discriminated against or unfairly treated by the police. And so I think we've got to be much more open to ensuring that this kind of data, not shy away from or be frightened of this kind of data. I think it's essential for good policing and for reassuring the public that we're not trying to hide behind not revealing or collecting ethnicity data for political, ideological ends, as we did with the grooming gangs.
My Lords, as the noble lady